Hour going on 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Welcome to the last 1 hour of the show. So, let me take you through the letter President Obasanjo wrote. We're going to start this way. Dear compatriots and friends, my appeal to all Nigerians, particularly young Nigerians, Happy New Year. May all our national calamities disappear this year. I am constrained to write this letter to all Nigerians, especially young Nigerians, friends of Nigeria globally, as well as our development partners, because of the gravity, the responsibility, and implications of the collective decision Nigerians, both young and old, will be making within the next 2 months. The last 7.5 years have no doubt been eventful and stressful years for many Nigerians. We've moved from frying pan to fire, from mountaintop to the valley. Our leaders have done their best, but their best had turned out to be not the best for Nigeria. Nigerians at home and abroad. For most Nigerians, it was hell on earth. Those of us who are alive should thank God for His mercies, brace ourselves for the remaining few months of this administration, and pray and work very hard for an immediate better future of liberation, restoration, and great hope and expectation. We've had campaigners going up and down the country feeding us with what they mean and what they do not mean, what they understand and what they do not fully understand, what is possible and what is not possible, what is realistic and what is unrealistic, what is true and what is untrue. I believe that we need not to be confused nor be gullible. Let us be cautious, not to be fooled again. I've interacted with the major contestants, and I find it interesting that, in one form or the other, each of them claims to want to do what I did during my presidency and to take Nigeria back to where it was at the height of my presidency and immediately after my presidency. I was pained that most of them do not realize that the Nigeria of today had been dragged down well below Nigeria at the beginning of my presidency in June 1999. Although at that time, Nigeria was in very bad shape and was tottering on the verge of collapse and breakup. Even then, Nigeria was not faced with a level of pervasive and mind-numbing insecurity, rudderless leadership, buoyed by mismanagement of diversity and pervasive corruption, bad economic policies resulting in extremes of poverty, massive unemployment, and galloping inflation. For these reasons, I kept pointing out to them that the instrument used in 1999 and 2007 and methodology used will grossly be inadequate for the perilous situation we now find ourselves. Without prejudice, but with greatest respect to each individual, with utmost regard for the best for Nigeria and all Nigerians, and from my personal experience, all the major contestants claim to be my mentees. I will not deny such positions, since I've worked with all of them directly and indirectly in government. I've come to realize a number of factors in character, attributes, and attitudes that are necessary in the job of directing the affairs of Nigeria successfully, and at a time like this. These characteristics or attributes are many, but let us be mindful of some key ones together. From interaction and experience, and as mentees, as most of them claim, I will, without prejudice, fear, or ill will, make bold to say that there are 4 major factors to watch out for in a leader you will consider to hoist on yourself and on the rest of Nigerians in the coming election, and they are what I call TVCP. T stands for track record of ability and performance. V, vision that is authentic, honest, and realistic. C, character and attributes of a lady and a gentleman who are children of God and obedient to God. And the last one is P, physical and mental capability with soundness of mind, as it is very taxing and tasking assignment at the best of times. And also, it is at the most difficult time that we are. Let me say straight away that Emi Lokon, which means my turn, and I have paid my dues, are one and the same thing, and are wrong attitude and mentality for the leadership of Nigeria now. They cannot form the new pedestal to reinvent and to invest in a new Nigeria based on an all Nigeria government for the liberation and restoration of Nigeria. Such a government must have representation from all sectors of our national life, be it public, private, civil society, professional, labor, employers, and the diaspora. The solution should be in we and us, and not in me and I. Mind you, I reiterate that no human being is an angel, let alone a messiah. But there are elements of these attributes and on comparative basis, and by measure of what we know of, and what some of us have experienced from the frontrunners, we must assess judiciously and choose wisely. If anybody claims he or she has anything to the contrary, it will be up to him or her to prove to us. I pray not to be proved right again in the bad sense, but rather to be proved right in the positive and glorious sense of Nigeria becoming what God had created it to be, a land of plenty and prosperity, united for common purpose of inclusive society, common security, shared prosperity, equity, egalitarianism, justice, and equal stake in the project Nigeria, with leadership role of Nigeria for the black race and fair share of global division of labor. One ridiculous point that has been touted to justify unjustifiable appointments and selections is competence. In truth and in reality, genuine competence can be found in any region or section of Nigeria through track record and performance if only people will honestly and sincerely look hard for people with such attainment and attribute. Most of us in good conscience can testify to competence when we see it anywhere. What is masqueraded as competence is self-interest and nepotism. We have a unique opportunity to correct ourselves by ourselves for the good of ourselves, those who are preaching division, segregation, separation, and want to use diversity for their own self and selfish interest are enemies of the nation, no matter what else they may disguisedly profess or proclaim. The challenge is for Nigerian youths. If we fall prey again, we'll have ourselves to blame, and no one can say how many more knocks Nigeria can take before it tips over. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. Future is not emotion. I challenge the youth to arise. Let nobody pull wool over your eyes to divide you and or segregate you to make you underlings. Nigerian youths, wherever they come from, north or south, east or west, need education, which is now denied to over 20 million children. Nigerian youths are also in need of skills, empowerment, employment, reasonably good living conditions, welfare, and well-being. My dear young men and women, you must come together and bring about a truly meaningful change in your lives. If you fail, you have no one else to blame. Your present and future are in your hands to make or to mar. The future of Nigeria is in the same manner in your hands, and literally so. If for any reason you fail to redeem yourself and your country, you will have lost the opportunity for good, and you will have no one to blame but yourselves, and posterity will not forgive you. Get up, get together, get going, and get us to where we should be. And you, the youths, it is your time and your turn. Ẹ̀yin ló kàn. Your turn. The power to change is in your hands. Your future, my future, the future of grandchildren and great-grandchildren is in your hands. Politics and elections are numbers game. You have the numbers. Get up, stand up, and make your numbers count. Let me say it again, loud and clear. Nigeria has no business with insecurity, poverty, insurgency, banditry, unemployment, hunger, death, division, and disunity. We are in these situations because, advertently or inadvertently, our leaders have made the choices. They've done the best they could do. Let them take their rest, deservedly or not, and let them enjoy their retirement as septuagenarians or older. I became head of state at 39 and at 42 had retired into the farm. When it was considered necessary, that is, I was drafted back into active political life after 20 years of interregnum. I came back at 62 and by 70 I was on my way out. Others like General Gowon and Enahoro became national leaders at 33 and 27 respectively, and General Gowon at the helms of leadership of Nigeria at the highest level. The vigor, the energy, agility, dynamism, and outreach that the job of leadership of Nigeria requires at the very top may not be provided as a septuagenarian or older. I know that from personal experience. And it is glaring out of our current experiences. Otherwise, we will be fed with, quote, the president says, end quote. And we will neither see nor hear him directly as we should. Yes, for some, age and physical and mental disposition are not in tandem, but where and when they are with obvious evidence, they must be taken into account for purpose of reality. And yet it is a job in our present situation where the team leader or captain of the team should be up and doing, outgoing inside and outside, and speaking to the nation on almost a daily basis visibly. And as much as possible, interactively and meeting his colleagues all over the world on behalf of Nigeria. Youths of Nigeria, your time has come, and it is now, and please grasp it. If not now, it will be never. I appeal to you to turn the tide on its head and march forward chanting, Awa Lokon, our turn. Not with a sense of entitlement, but with a demonstrable ideological commitment to unity and transformation of Nigeria. Leave the past. Face the future. Can we let the past go? I appeal to the young Nigerians to stop inheriting other people's prejudices and enemies. Make your own friends and stop inheriting your father's enemies. Let's stop criticizing and demonizing one another on the basis of a civil war on which we are all wrong. And let's praise and thank God for preserving the oneness of Nigeria. The scripture says that if God would take account of all our wrongdoings, nobody would be able to stand before him. While not suffering from amnesia, let us stop still fighting and reacting to the civil war in our hearts, minds, heads, and our attitude acrimoniously. Let's stop living on our different wrongs or mistakes of the past. Treasonable felony, Tiv riot and its handling then, first military coup and its aftermath, second military coup, Araba, pogrom, and the civil war, all in the 1960s. And more recently, OPC, Egbesu, Masop, IPOP, Boko Haram, banditry. No region can claim to be innocent or to be saintly, and no justification will suffice. In our respective individual or regional positions, we've done right and we have done wrong. It is therefore not right for any of us to be sanctimonious, to see ourselves as saints and the rest as devils incarnate. Just let us agree to move forward together in mutual forgiveness, one accord, inclusive society, equality and equity. Together and without bias and discrimination, fear of favor, we can have Nigeria of one nation in diversity, in truth and in practice. Let us honor, cherish, respect, and even celebrate our diversity, which is the basis of our potential greatness and strength. If we will only continue to harp on wrongs done by each of us individually or collectively, we will never be able to stand together. If we will continue with wide brush to paint a national or subnational group as bad and never to be trusted with leadership because of past error or mistakes that some of them were responsible for, and treat their offsprings as inheritors, it will amount to great injustice that will surely lead to no peace, no security, and no stability for development and progress. First, no group is faultless. Second, for the greatness of the whole, we need one another as constituents of the whole. Third, we cannot be talking and working for Africa's integration and for Nigeria's disintegration at the same time. Why, for instance, should I be stigmatized or despised because of my place of origin, because of my place of birth, or where I come from, where I was born, or by whom I was born? And when I was born, were not choices made by me. They were choices and prerogative of God. Any antagonism against me on that basis is unfair and is tantamount to fighting against God, the Creator. Such derogatory attitude and mindset do not build any human institution, let alone a nation. While not forgetting the past, let us put the past behind us, for it not to continue to mar our present and our future, and that of the coming generation. We must rise above primordial animalistic instincts and behavior. Yes, we are human and higher than animals in the wild. Let us develop national ethos and national characteristics that can take us collectively to the promised. My dear young men and women, let me assure you that there are only two tribes of people in Nigeria: a tribe of good people and a tribe of bad people. You're either a good Nigerian of Igbo extraction, Kanuri extraction, and so on, or a bad Nigerian of Yoruba extraction, Ijo extraction, and so on. I will, at this juncture, want to commend the politicians, as they have generally been reasonably civil in their campaigns without making politics as a call to war against opponents. Genuine and fair competition conveys greater legitimacy in any political rivalry or competition. A situation where people in authority and power assume such positions through foul and despicable means and continue to espouse and act in ways that only engender conflict or war by subverting legitimacy of power and authority does not augur well for the polity, and as such, the moral foundation of the government and the society will be terribly weakened. May God help, save, protect, and sustain Nigeria for all Nigerians, for Africa, and for the human race. We can only continue to play politics of ethnicity, religion, region, and money bags at the peril of our country and to self-destruction. We need selfless, courageous, honest, patriotic, in short, outstanding leadership with character and fear of God beyond what we have had in recent past. None of the contestants is a saint. When one compares their character, antecedents, their understanding, knowledge, discipline, and vitality that they can bring to bear, and the great efforts required to stay focused on the job, particularly looking at where the country is today, and with the experience on the job that I personally had, Peter Obi, as a mentee, has an edge. Others, like all of us, have what they can contribute to the new dispensation to liberation, restoration, and salvaging of Nigeria collectively. One other important point to make about Peter is that he is a needle with thread attached to it from north and south, and he may not get lost. In other words, he has people who can pull his ears if and when necessary. Needless to say that he has a young and able running mate with clean track record of achievement both in public and private life. In conclusion, I want to bring to our remembrance part of the great speech that Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa made on October 7, 1960, on the occasion of Nigeria being admitted as the 1999th member of the United Nations. Quote, "Cooperation is for each man to be true to his religion or religious belief and to reaffirm the basic principles of his particular creed. It may be that when we hear the world crying out for peace, we may receive the inspiration to deal with these intractable problems and be able to really devote all our resources to the advancement of mankind by applying those eternal truths which will inevitably persist long after we ourselves are utterly forgotten." End quote. The Tafawa Balewas are gone, but the eternal truths inevitably remain and persist, that cooperation, friendship, justice, equity, love, and fear of God, which are hallmarks of the three religions practiced in this country, are the basis of our full and fulfilled lives and living as Nigerians. In faith as Nigerians, we must pray and relate with God as it depends on Him, and at the same time, in faith also, we must work as it depends on us. Then we will win. May God continue to help us individually and collectively. Yours ever, Olusegun Obasanjo. Signed, January 1, 2023. There you go, Lagos. The letter written by President Obasanjo and released yesterday, personally signed by him. It's 8:25 from our studios this morning. I'll take your thoughts from WhatsApp. I'll take your thoughts from all across our channels, okay? But we're going to take a quick break. When we return from this break, it's a short one. When we return, we'll talk some more. How you doing?
This is The Voice Note. The Voice Note. On 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
The tragedy of Nigeria began in 1986 when we did the structural adjustment program. When we were persuaded to devalue our currency every week for 32 years. When I went to school, and many of you are here, the Naira was $1.50. The Naira was almost £1 sterling. They came here, persuaded some brilliant men from Harvard and the World Bank that weekly devaluation was wonderful. 32 years of devaluing your currency until we hit 527. And they were still telling us that the Naira was still overvalued. That brought poverty, misery upon us. Because every time you bring in a shipload of rice, you also bring in a shipload of unemployment. Because you are transferring your wealth to society.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
Oh, lunch. Guys, I'm going for lunch. Please, put more stew. Nice meal.
Liverpool are majestic. You can't coach against this.
City have to defend for 6 minutes. They do not want to attack this. Felon Mendy across into the penalty area, headed down by the Madrid players. Still Madrid hopping around City's penalty box. A chance could come for them. It's 1-1 on the night. It's 4-5 for Nagrigas. There it comes. It's a 2-2. They are back.
Incredible. Well, one of the great nights as a radio football commentator, certainly. Was special. You could sense it. So I literally could sense a potential comeback, and it wasn't surprising it happened. But you know how I was still able to articulate my words after that goal came in, something magical. So one of those great nights.
Thanks, Alexander-Arnold! Liverpool are majestic. You can't coach against this.
I'm a sucker for Trent. You know, if he wasn't a Liverpool player, I would wear a jersey with Trent at the back. That was special. It was a free kick from about 38, 40 yards against Chelsea, a team I somehow don't fancy. It was special, and I fell off the seat. It's a classic. I don't think any commentator has been able to do that.
Every day is a new experience for me here. And look, see how excited I was coming into this studio. It was like a kid in a candy shop. What I enjoy doing the most here, let me put it in my own words, is Dear Bumi, because it's relaxing, it's hilarious. And of course, I for the life of me, I would never miss doing programs with Sheriff in the morning. It's one of the best. That's what keeps me alive and going. I think the one that I would remember the most, believe you me, is the one I did with Made Kuti, Femi's son. Every time I looked at, every time I think of the young guy, I feel so inspired because I'm always thinking of tomorrow. I'm youth driven. I'm not saying I'm a youth, but I'm youth driven. Oh, the best thing about being a radio show host is when people hold your hand in public, they pray for you, they send you messages and appreciate what you're doing. Because it's, apart from it being a big job, it's a sacrifice. If you want to do this job well, it is a big, big sacrifice. I'm not known to be a liar. I'm somebody who, and the reason why I don't lie about certain things is I don't want to be caught out. Okay, so if I overslept, you hear me on radio saying, sorry I came late, I overslept. I don't want anybody telling me that this is what happened. I'm very conscious of that. So I don't think I ever lied not to be on air. I'd have called ahead to say, because I'm a professional to the core, and you can ask those who work with me. If I can't make it, sometimes I'd call Sheriff in the morning and say, Sheriff, me, I'm tired. If I'm tired, I'm tired, So I don't think I've been caught out as such. I can't remember any time.
Terms and conditions apply. What are we doing today? Your way, powered by Wema Bank. You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
It's 8:32 from our studios here at Lagos. Good morning to you and compliments to season. Happy holidays to you. Sheriff, let's begin to get your reaction now to the stories you heard this morning. And not the stories really, but just one that we started at 5 a.m. The open letter President Obasanjo wrote to Nigerian youths. So here we go. 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. You can call the smart number 0700-993-993-993. Now also feel free, if you're a female, here is your line here, 01-465-7190. That's female number. 01-465-7190 for the female callers. WhatsApp is 0809-597-5805. You got 60 seconds to share your thought with me. WhatsApp 0809-597-5805. Let's begin. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
This is Joy calling.
Welcome, Joy. Talk to me.
When you were just reading that letter, tears begin to run out of my eyes.
Oh.
This country, I don't know what they need. And again, there is old man you interview, not too long, the old man died. What did he tell us as a Nigeria? The truth these people begin to talk. I don't like Obasanjo, I don't know. But all these things it's like when you want to leave your children, You want good life for them. You begin to say some kind of a thing. That is how I see this letter of Obasanjo just right for this new year. And again, if to say we can share this country into three, let the one Obi we rule. The one the Tinubu we rule. And see who we suffer. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy, for calling me. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube, so you can go watch and drop your comments on the two platforms. Just search for Nigeria Info 99.3. Good morning to you.
Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Nonso.
Welcome, Nonso. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm calling from Letter. Sheriff, where you are reading this Obasanjo load, I just say I park my motor, 5 o'clock, I miss 5 o'clock. I just park my motor, say 8 o'clock, me and Sheriff today. When you are reading all this message, I begin to cry for Obasanjo. Now people who don't see vision of Nigeria, and go see remembrance. The voting time left for youth and Nigerians to decide which is their choice. If they made their mistake, I didn't know. Now be their own. Sheriff, God bless you.
Bless you too, brother. Thanks for calling me. Let's go to YouTube. Abdul Wahab says OBJ just made an endorsement that won't help Obi. Those he endorsed in 2019, you mean, were roundly beaten. He wouldn't even deliver Ogun for them. Make Baba enjoy him old age and stop writing bad belle letter. Abdul Wahab sent that in on YouTube live stream. Let's take another one from YouTube. Ike Chuku says it's important to know that Obasanjo emphasized that you can't be advocating for peace in Africa and overseeing chaos in your country. Just to paraphrase. Yeah, you're right, Ike Chuku. You're spot on with that part of Obasanjo's letter. Back to the telephone. Good morning to you.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you. I'm doing okay.
Alex here.
Welcome.
Happy New Year.
You too.
Yes, I'm wishing you the very best in this new year.
Wishing you too.
A most blissful year ahead, I wish you.
And you too.
And every member of the Nigeria Info.
Thank you.
Sheriff, you see this letter written by the president, former president, and put it that way. Just like an army general that he is, he has written a letter that is not addressed to every single officer or every single member of the army, okay? I'm just using that as a figurative expression, if you understand me.
Yeah.
Now, while it is not written to every single soldier, that's the word, it is expected that those who receive the message should distill it down to the most illiterate among the soldiers, so that the message goes down thoroughly. You see, that letter is not written for the uneducated. It is only those who are educated enough in this country that will understand Obasanjo's letter. It is now left for those who are educated, who understand the letter, to ensure that the message is distilled to the very... You see, one of the biggest challenges we have as a people, I'm trying to retain my 1 minute, is that the people who are educated receive good information, but our criminal politicians use those who are uneducated to work against the system in their own favor. We will have to try, you and me, Sheriff, in 2023, that those who are uneducated are no longer a weapon.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Thanks for calling me. Appreciate it. Let me go to Facebook. A live stream on there. I have a message here from Daniel. Daniel says, any human being that's against this letter from... No. I don't take generalized comments or calls. You know me too well. I don't take anybody that generalizes things. People must not agree with your point of view, or you can rewrite and resend, Okay. Michael says, well, I hope Obasanjo's assertion will eventually come to play because Tinubu is already lambasting on his person of choice for presidency. But thank you for your phone. Let me head back to telephone. Good morning to you.
Hello.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry. Happy New Year.
You too.
Hello?
We can hear you. Yeah, we lost the call eventually. 8:38. Good morning to you. We lost that as well. We're going to take another one. Nigeria Info, good morning to you. That's gone as well. We have so many waiting. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Sir.
Good morning, sir.
Happy New Year.
Please turn off your radio.
I want to use this avenue to tell Nigerians about the message that General Obasanjo just wrote to us.
Could you turn off your radio, like right now?
Powerful.
Okay, I'm going to have to let you go. It's as though you couldn't hear me. But you try and call me back if you can hear me now. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Morning.
Happy New Year.
You too.
So why Obasanjo write letter? Because you don't want to, you know where to go again.
I'm sorry, but you're not audible. You need to be audible so we can hear you clearly.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, let's try again. Go on, please.
Because Obasanjo supports OP, because of it can never support Atiku, can never support Lumbo, because he has issues with them.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what I tried to say.
Oh, okay. All right. Because he has no choice than to support Obi. That's what you're trying to say. Okay. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
I am Lovett speaking from Taboyaba.
Good to have you.
Please, I just want to ask a question. What do we, Nigeria, want to see again? Within our naked physical eyes, we can see what is going on. We can assess the presidential candidate. From what we are passing through this suffering, we can see. From Baba Obasanjo open letter, what did they want to hear from God again? After we will be saying God will help, God will help. And God has been showing us signs. My prayer is that God Almighty, in His infinite mercy, will choose His leader, touching the heart of Nigerian citizens to do the right thing, so that it will be better for all of us. God bless you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, ma'am. Thanks for calling. James is on YouTube. James said Obasanjo contested and he won in 1999. Obasanjo recontested and he won in 2003. Obasanjo endorsed Umaru Yar'Adua for presidency and he won in 2007. Obasanjo endorsed Goodluck Ebele Jonathan for presidency and he won in 2011. Okay, that's what he sent in. I'm going to go to WhatsApp now. Let's take a few WhatsApp messages, shall we? Let's see. Nehemiah from Bayeku says, OBJ has said it all. It says, I am moved by this letter, though I have concluded and made up my mind, devoid of tribal sentiment, who I will vote for on polling day. It is left for the gullible, tribalistic, and partisan Nigerians. God bless Nigeria. Nehemiah, thank you for sharing. Tawheed from Alagbado is also here, and Tawheed says, I really like Obasanjo's write-up. The problem is the youths to buckle up now. Don't let any politician deceive you. Youths, our local. Tawheed from Alagbado sent that in. Some coincidence there. Let's take this call. Let me hang up and take... we'll come to Skype in a moment. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
My name is Adetayo, first time caller.
Good to have you here, Adetayo.
My brother, this open letter, that is the word from the president. That's what I want to say.
Okay. All right. I hear you. That's for Kanye, who is on Skype. Hi, Kanye, how are you doing? Kanye.
Yeah, good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm good.
Where are you calling us from today?
Yeah, from Finland.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, about Obasanjo's letter, I really feel people should look beyond this. It shows Obi, it shows Tinubu, and look at the spirit of that letter. I feel that letter is a passionate call for people to correct their value system. One of the key important factors in those letters for me is the art of service, a forgiving attitude. Look, when he was talking about the regions in the country, you cannot trace fault to anybody. If you want to continue tracing fault, you will end up confusing yourself because everybody has, in one way or the other, hurt themselves. And I said, talking about a forgiving spirit, but we have narrowed down only on he chose Obi, he chose Tinubu, he chose this. What concerns us with the electoral value? Can we look at the passionate call of a nationalistic spirit and look at, he talked about service. Service. Instead of saying, Emiloko, I have paid my dues. What does that mean? Is the presidency or is the government a reward system for some certain people? He's talking about the attitude to service should be, that government should be service.
Your time is up. We'll not be able to hear you again. All right, thank you for understanding. Appreciate it. Kinde calling from Finland. Let's go to take some more messages this morning, this time from Facebook. Omotayo Akimboboye says the letter is another booster for Tinubu's victory. The letter was just to whittle down Atiku's votes. Okay, Omotayo, thank you. Babatunde says Obasanjo that couldn't do just ordinary road in Ota is telling us who to vote. Baba, you don't cast. And stop using the OB to count costs against your enemy. That's Baba Tunde Ainde who sent that in. Let me take, I'm not sure I'll be able to take this one here. He says, AY Piano says, who runs a legitimate and rewarding company with Tinubu or Atiku as managing director? That company is dead on takeoff. Supporters of these known money bags are the most mischievous human beings on planet Earth. Peter Obi is manageable. AY Piano saying that Peter Obi is manageable. Okay, all right, I hear you. OBJ has spoken as God's oracle. It's up to Nigerians to decide. Okechukwu sent that on Facebook. It's 8:45. If you're just tuning in, good morning, Crossfire, the very first for the year 2023. Happy New Year to you. I'm Sheriff Quadry. Nice to meet you. I'm going to quickly go take some messages on WhatsApp. We'll take quite a number of them because we have a huge backlog here. Sheiks from Ajegunle says, I hope Nigerians, may God bless OBJ. I hope Nigerians understand the content of the letter. It's very touching and full of facts. Thank you, Chooks. Tony from Moe says, can you please read the letter again? I just tune in. That's what I'm trying to say, Abby. Tony, no, I can't. I'm sorry. It's just really impossible to do. Let's see. Messi Toad from Badagry says, I want to believe I didn't get that pronunciation correctly. He says, the wise has advertised, only those who have ears would hear. That's Messi Toad. I hope I got that right. I'm really sorry if I didn't. Let's see who is here again on WhatsApp. Let's see. Taiwo from Aguda in Surulere says, Happy New Year. And he says, let me fast forward. He said, Baba OBJ letter is a really insightful one. I say big thanks to him. But I must say, OBJ can never be left unmentioned whenever we are talking about the tragedies that's rocking Nigeria presently. Though he has said his own, but I have my reasons for supporting any candidate of my choice. God bless Nigeria. Taiwo, thank you for sharing. Let's take three more from WhatsApp. Just three more. Nico Bess from Bariga says, OBJ's letter, he has the right to endorse one candidate. All the candidates visited him for support. His reason for supporting OB is for the interest of the youths. Nico Bess, thank you. Obedient supporters have started praising OBJ, but watch out, February 2023. It's either Atiku or Tinubu from Clement in Surulere. Clement, thank you for sharing. Why has Gowon not spoken in spite of killings in his place and other places? Other past leaders have also kept mute. Chief Obasanjo has done well with his letter. Ochonogo Samson sent that. Thank you. I'm back to the telephone now. Please turn off your radio. You got 60 seconds to talk to me, please. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're Lucky Lola from Maguru.
Let's talk.
Yes, Obasanjo has spoken and, people are running at us, but he has, said the truth. Any government that could not build a refinery in 8 years is a complete failure, as far as I'm concerned. And it's a big blow to Atiku, for his principal that he worked with as a VP for 8 good years to pick someone else ahead of him. It's just like, a boxer giving his opponent a big uppercut. Have a nice day, sir.
You too. On YouTube, Kemi says, endorsement aside, I think he made valid points. You can't be talking about peace in Africa without fixing the chaos in your country first. Happy New Year, everyone. Kemi, Happy New Year to you. Good morning to you. We lost that call. Okay. And we're going to jump on another one. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Samuel from BGC.
Let's talk, Samuel.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just unfortunately that most people listen to the message. They are not concerned about the body of the message, what it carries. They are just pointing out the point where he does
Peter Obi.
And it's just sad to me. The message is really touching, honestly. And I wish that we Nigerians can just see through the body of the message and pick and walk to the reality and do the right thing in 2023. Yeah.
Thank you for calling me. Thank you for calling. On Twitter, Joy Forever says, compliment OBJ's endorsement of Obi may count for nothing. The Labour Party can't make inroads to rural areas, and the North Nigeria is running presidential, not parliamentary. May the year be good to Nigerians and end APC ill government. Joy Forever, appreciate your thought on Twitter. And back to the telephone now. Good morning to you.
Hello, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Happiness for me, Kurodo.
Welcome back.
Yeah, Sheriff, from this letter,
Yeah.
it's not about Obi. It's about our nation. Our nation is seriously bleeding. When we were reading it, I was just down, as if I should start weeping. If we get it wrong as a nation, this one has spoken. Some of us might not have said the truth because it's bitter. If we miss it as a nation, Sheriff, I don't know. I don't know our hope. But I pray we don't miss it this time around. Enjoy your day, Sheriff.
You too, Happiness. Enjoy your day. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
You too.
Just local here on the line.
Let's talk.
Yeah. See, I'm very happy with what OBJ did. Okay. He has shown to the world, he doesn't care whatever they say about him. His support is enough to boost a lot of us. See, and those old men, at least OBJ is old also, shouting Emeloko. This is someone who has seen it all. He's been there, done that. Now he's telling those old men also now, people should do the rightful thing. We the youth are ready to change it. I pray OBJ and all the youths vote for Obi so we can win. Obi should be the president.
Jesu, thank you. Jesu Lokwe. John from Ketu says Obasanjo wrote in 2015 warning Nigerians, but we didn't listen. He supported Atiku and warned in 2019, but we still did not listen. Now he has done it again. Hope we will listen this time. That's John in K2 on WhatsApp. Why is it only General Obasanjo who always write letters and advice to Nigerians? Don't we have other past leaders in this country? We know those who have our country at heart and those who destroy. Frank from Alaba sent that in. Let's take one more. Ikechukwu Samuel says, I love the letter writing by Obasanjo. God bless Nigeria and Nigerians. Ikechukwu, thank you. I'm going to go to Facebook. Let's take this one from Chinedu. Chinedu on Facebook says, did people hear him say something about the age difference? At a time, he was at his farm resting, and someone at that age still looking for how to take care of his family. Then another time, called again to rule Nigeria. But this is my message. One would not be up to 70 years before he can say, I have done something for my next generation in this country. Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, and I'm glad that you heard that part of the letter as well. There's a lot in that letter, I must admit personally. What's your name? Dennis Cho. Okay, we're just going to go with Dennis Cho. It says, for you know that it's political issue. Okay, I'm going to move on. I don't understand what you wrote. Thank you for your thought. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Happy New Year.
You too.
I just like we don't take it to a national pledge and a national anthem. This is a clarion call to Nigerians. The situation we find ourselves is very, very pathetic. And in going forward, what can be more alluring than what the old man has said to all Nigerians? So if we like, the choice is in our hands. Whatever we do, we'll live by the consequences. Good morning.
Good morning to you too. Thank you for calling me. Firewall on YouTube live stream says children and women living at the IDP camps must go back home. Vote for Peter Obi. What is SW? What's SW again? Maybe you're trying to say Southwest for Peter Obi. I'm not sure. But that's he wrote SW for Peter Obi. All right, so that's too much we can take today here on the Morning Crossfire 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's public holiday today. We've had a great conversation from 5 a.m. the president's letter. Let's keep the conversation going on. You can follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM on Twitter to continue with the debate on OBJ's letter. You can also track everything that we do on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos is a handle on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos. You can follow me on Twitter at Sheriff Quadry. I'm very responsive and active on Twitter as well, so we can chat further. Let's bring you this break. Bring you the news at the top of the hour. Lagos, Happy New Year to you.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
All out to the season of fall, hope rising, cherish the season, relish the nourishment. Hollandia, celebrate the season's goodness. Hollandia, celebrate the season's goodness.
Share Hollandia goodness this season.
All out, we tell us.
That's all my friends and family. Them bust my head, them send money. One more them go all out for me. Oh. All out, we tell us. Plenty bills you got to pay. Sort them out today. Get the loan without delay. All out, we tell us. Just save money. All out, invest money. All out, begin jolly. All out, we tell us. When I walk today, all out, I been a chew you day. All out, go all the way. All out, we tell us. Save money.